In the majestic snow-capped Himalayas, nestled high among the peaks, stood a magnificent fig tree. Its branches stretched out like strong, welcoming arms, and its leaves were a vibrant, shimmering green. This tree wasn't just any tree. It was a home, a sanctuary, and a source of life for a great flock of parrots. Among them lived a parrot who was known for his wisdom and kind heart. He was the king of his flock, and he loved the fig tree more than anything. Every morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the mountain tops, he would perch on the highest branch and sing a song of gratitude. He thanked the tree for its sweet, juicy figs that nourished them, for its sturdy branches that sheltered them from storms, and for its cool shade that protected them from the hot summer sun. The tree, in its own silent way, seemed to listen, its leaves rustling gently as if in reply. The parrot felt a deep connection to it, a bond that went beyond just food and shelter. He saw the tree as a dear friend, a constant and generous presence in his life. He taught the younger parrots to respect the tree, to never waste its fruit, and to always be thankful for its gifts. Life was perfect, a paradise of endless figs and happy days. But as seasons turned, a strange and sad change came over their beloved home. The once lush fig tree began to wither. Its leaves, once so full of life, turned yellow and brown, curling at the edges before dropping to the ground. The branches grew brittle and bare, and the sweet figs, their source of joy and sustenance, ceased to grow. A dry, harsh wind seemed to settle around the tree, stripping it of its former glory. Day by day, the tree looked more like a skeleton, a stark and lonely figure against the vast Himalayan sky. Panic began to spread among the flock of parrots. Their once happy chirps turned into cries of concern and hunger. "There's no food here anymore," one would squawk. "The tree is dying. We must leave," another would urge. Gathered in small, anxious groups, their bright feathers a stark contrast to the decaying branches. They remembered tales of other forests, other trees, laden with fruit, far away but full of promise. The instinct for survival was strong, and one by one, they made their decision. One morning, the wise parrot king awoke to a profound silence. He looked around and saw that he was alone. The entire flock, all his friends and family, had flown away during the night, seeking greener pastures and fuller bellies. The tree was eerily quiet, the only sound being the mournful whistle of the wind through its barren limbs. A pang of sadness hit him, but it was not for himself. It was for the tree, his dear friend, now abandoned and desolate. He looked at the dry, cracked bark and remembered the countless days he had spent there, feasting on its delicious fruit. He remembered how its strong branches had held him steady during fierce mountain gales, and how its dense leaves had kept him dry during monsoon rains. The tree had given him everything without ever asking for anything in return. How could he abandon it now, in its time of need? His heart was filled not with despair, but with a deep, unwavering loyalty. He decided to stay. He would not leave his friend. He spent his days searching for any tiny bit of sustenance the dying tree might still offer. He nibbled on dry bark and picked at withered shoots, his stomach often empty, but his spirit resolute. He still sang his morning song, though his voice was weaker now. It was a song of remembrance, of gratitude for all the good times they had shared. He would tell the tree stories of the past, of the happy days when it was strong and full of life, hoping his words might offer some comfort. The bond between the parrot and the tree grew even stronger in their shared hardship. This extraordinary act of loyalty did not go unnoticed. High in the celestial realms, the great god Shaka observed the little parrot. He was deeply moved by the bird's devotion. In a world where most beings were driven by self-interest, this small creature's steadfast heart shone like a brilliant star. Shaka decided to test the parrot's loyalty to see if his resolve was truly as strong as it appeared. Disguising himself as a magnificent swan, with feathers as white as the Himalayan snow and a voice as gentle as a flowing stream, Shaka descended to the withered fig tree. He landed gracefully on a nearby rock and addressed the lone parrot. "My dear friend," the swan said in a kind, melodious tone, "I have watched you for days. This tree is dead. There is nothing left for you here but hunger and sorrow. Why do you stay?" The parrot, though weak, looked at the swan with clear, determined eyes. "This tree was my home," he replied. "It nourished me and protected me when it was strong. I cannot abandon it now that it is weak. To leave a friend in their time of need is an act of betrayal I am not willing to commit." The swan, Shaka, in disguise, pressed on. "But look over there," he said, gesturing with a wing towards a distant green valley. "I have just come from a forest of fig trees, heavy with ripe sweet fruit. The rivers there flow with cool, clear water. All your friends are there, happy and well fed. You are a king without a kingdom, a bird starving on a dead branch. This is not loyalty, it is foolishness. Come with me, and I will guide you to a life of plenty." The parrot listened patiently, but his heart did not waver. The temptation was great. He could almost taste the sweet figs and feel the cool water. He missed his flock. But his gratitude for the tree was a force far more powerful than hunger or loneliness. He took a deep breath and spoke, his voice filled with a conviction that resonated through the barren branches. "You speak of a full stomach," the parrot said, "but you do not speak of a full heart. My happiness was never just about the figs. It was about the friendship and the home this tree provided. To enjoy sweetness while my friend suffers would bring me no joy, only shame. My debt of gratitude to this tree is immense, and I will stay and repay it with my loyalty until the very end. If I am to perish from hunger, then let me perish here. By the side of the one who gave me life," he continued, "true wealth is not in what we can get, but in what we are willing to give. This tree gave me everything. All I have to give is my presence, my companionship. It may seem like nothing to you, but to me it is everything. I will not break my bond of friendship for the promise of temporary comfort. This is my home, in sickness and in health." The swan fell silent. The air grew still. At that moment the disguise fell away, and Shaka stood revealed in his divine form, radiating a gentle golden light that bathed the desolate landscape in a warm glow. The parrot looked on in awe, his small heart pounding in his chest. Shaka smiled, his eyes filled with profound admiration. "Oh, wise and noble parrot," he said, his voice echoing with divine authority. "Your heart is purer than the clearest mountain spring. Your loyalty is stronger than the mountains themselves. You have passed the test. Such unwavering gratitude is a rare and precious virtue, one that deserves the greatest of rewards." With a wave of his hand, a miraculous transformation began. A vibrant green energy flowed from Shaka and into the roots of the withered fig tree. The dry, cracked bark began to heal and smoothen. The brittle branches regained their strength and flexibility. Tiny green buds erupted all over the tree, and in moments they unfurled into lush, beautiful leaves, greener and more vibrant than ever before. Soon, the branches were once again heavy with large, ripe, succulent figs, their sweet fragrance filling the air. The tree stood magnificent and glorious, restored to its full splendor, looking even more majestic than before. The parrot watched, his eyes wide with disbelief and joy. He chirped happily, a sound full of life and relief, and flew around the revitalized tree, touching its leaves and nudging its sweet fruit. Shaka looked at the happy parrot and said, "May this tree forever flourish, and may it always provide for you, its truest and most loyal friend. Your story will be told as a testament to the power of gratitude and the beauty of a steadfast heart." With a final, benevolent smile, Shaka vanished, leaving behind the scent of celestial blossoms. The parrot, overwhelmed with joy, began to sing his song of gratitude, his voice stronger and more beautiful than ever. The story of the loyal parrot and the revived tree spread through the mountains. Soon his old flock, hearing of the miracle, returned, their hearts full of remorse. The wise parrot king welcomed them back without blame, teaching them the profound lesson he had learned. That true contentment comes not from taking but from giving, and that the greatest treasures in life are loyalty and a grateful heart. And so, the parrot and his beloved fig tree lived on, their bond unbroken, a timeless symbol of true friendship in the heart of the majestic Himalayas. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that warm the soul. We'll see you in the next video.